Here we have a new 2024 Cadillac XT5. Now this one comes in the sport trim level with all-wheel drive and crystal white tri-coat. And then we do have jet black leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine that's made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. So as we come to the front end here, not a lot of huge changes since this came out in 2017, just a slight buffer. But I love the front end of this sport here. We have the LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and that black mesh grille just looks fantastic. Coming around the wheels here, we get these 20-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. If you can look back in there, we do have Brembo brake calipers, passive keyless entry on all 4 doors, Bose Performance Series sound system, one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, express down for the back, power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors, and then we can also control either side and turn those mirrors on or off to adjust the actual glass. And then the rear lift gate is right here. We can toggle that to 3/4 max or off and just hit the button to open and shut it. Electronic parking brake, press to engage, hit the brake, press it again to disengage. As part of our technology package, we get this heads-up display, so the controls for that are there. We have a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, and then the release for the hood. There's the power driver's seat, power lumbar support as well. And a nice area here if you want to stow some stuff underneath the shifter, you can do that. Now I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, but a huge shout out to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this XT5 today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But sitting behind myself, not terrible, but my knees are touching the back of this seat just a tad. And then we have rear AC controls along with 3-stage heated outboard seats, rear AC vents, and then a USB-C and a USB-A input down in there. Little storage pocket here too. There's a view of the front. And that's a look at the sunshade when it is all the way retracted. And then we'll push it back and see the ultra view roof in a minute. Bottle holders are there. And then we have a grab handle here. And then we could probably hang a metal hanger hook. It'd be hard to get a plastic one on there, but you could probably do it. Now this one stickers for $65,395. I'll leave a link below in the description for the vehicle, as well as the window sticker, so y'all can take a closer look at all of the amenities that come on this one. But to the back end here, we do get those LED tail lamps, and they don't flash like that. That's just how the camera's picking them up. But I love that kind of clear look there. It just looks so fantastic. Now we'll go ahead and pop the lift gate. And while that's going up, quick look underneath the vehicle. And pretty good cargo space behind the second row. Spares there, cargo net here. So pretty usable space. And then we can also fold this flat when the seat up front is far enough. There's a 12-volt back there as well on the left side. But again, this will fold flat when it's up far enough, so you can either do that with that latch, or you can pull up here and do that same thing. And then you just pull it back up to put it back into place. Now, pretty much the same adjustability for our front passenger side as we get with the front driver. So that's good. Lockable glove compartment is here. I love the carpeted material, and it's actually a pretty good size, I think. And then as we come around to the front, once again, I'll just open the hood, and there's that naturally aspirated V6. But next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So we do get a nice leather wrap steering wheel. We can heat. The button for that is there. There's the horn. Now to this 8-inch screen, we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. We also get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. There's the navigation screen there, which is built in. Settings are here, so you can change your language. And then you also have a rear seat reminder, as well as teen driver in this vehicle particularly. Now for the climate, we do get dual zone automatic climate controls, and again, that rear climate is available as well. And then we also have the heated cooled front seats too. So those are down here, and then you have buttons to adjust fan speed and cut the whole system off, adjust temperature, etc. Now backup cameras there. We have guidelines to follow as you turn the steering wheel with a 360 view, or bird's eye view, excuse me. And then there's a front camera there. We have curbside as well as a trailer hitch view, excuse me. Now over here we can turn on the parking sensors. We can toggle our automatic parking assist as well as the auto stop. Then a little pocket here. Now for the 9-speed, hit this, pull down for drive, tap for manual, push up for neutral, and then hit the button, pull all the way up for reverse. Press P for park. And then bottle holders are here. You can stow all of that. And then we also have audio knob here, which I like because I can click there to mute, hold it to power down. And then we have shortcuts for nav, audio, phone, and then you can use the scroll bar to go through the system, which is actually very intuitive. And then traction control, drive modes. We have Tour, all-wheel drive, sport, off-road. And then the center console cubby space has a wireless charging pad here, and then a removable tray, little space down there. And then we have an SD card reader for that navigation, excuse me. Then a USB-C and a USB-A input there as well. Now the rear camera mirror is here, so we can toggle that on or off by hitting that switch. Sunroof control as well as the universal home remote controls are there. And that's a look at the roof with the sunshade all the way back. And then you can tilt or slide that roof. And then you hit it a second time, it goes all the way behind the glass, so pretty impressive. There's a view of the back seat from up here. And then vanity mirror right in here. I would have liked to see the more premium lights in here, but this has not been fully refreshed in a minute, so I'm not surprised. Now back to the steering wheel. I like that we have the paddle shifters behind here. Auto high beams can be toggled there. And then the automatic lights can be toggled there. And then high beams we can toggle on or off for flash there. Now we do get the rain sense wiper, so one time off, auto, low, high. We can adjust the auto sensitivity here. And then we have a rear wiper here, intermittent on, off there. Push back for that rear wiper fluid, pull up for that front wiper fluid. And then cruise control can be turned on or off here, cancel, set the speed, mute, voice recognition, for collision alert, as well as the adaptive cruise gap can be adjusted here. And then we have the lane keeping system with lane departure. And then we can go through the track list or radio station favorites here. And then volume can be adjusted there. And we can use these 4 arrows and the select button to go through our digital part of the gauge cluster here. So what I can do is change what's on the info page. And then I can also go to the settings and I can change my units from US to metric if I want to. And then just a few other options that you can fool with, including the heads-up display if you want it to display the speed sign or not. Now speaking of that, I'm gonna zoom in here and then show you the different options. By hitting the info button, you can change your views. I think it's like 4 different ones that you can choose from, adjust the brightness, and then you can also adjust the height of the display itself there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next we're gonna go ahead and take out this XT5 for a quick test drive. So starting the test drive in this XT5 V6, I've driven several of these over the years. My mother still has hers, a 2018 front wheel drive. And the V6s are just very strong, I think. Especially with the all-wheel drive system in terms of just how they put the power down. The 2-liter turbo could be a bit more fun to drive, but this just has a more linear power curve, I think. So I have the XT5 in the all-wheel drive mode now, so we'll see how it goes getting on the interstate here. So the V6 is, again, a strong engine, especially under moderate acceleration. Now it can get loud if you floor it, and you don't necessarily get that same pull that you get from a turbocharged 4 in the lower RPMs, but you are getting that, again, linear power curve. And the ride in here is extremely nice, very impressive. Smooth, but still feels controlled. And this is in the all-wheel drive mode, so when I put it in the sport mode for a little bit, and I'm gonna lean the seat back so y'all can get more of a wider angle. But again, the ride is very impressive. The driving dynamics are actually very nice for me as well. And the space from the front seat is pretty good. Now, somebody my size could not sit behind me, but especially if I just want to have a nice relaxed ride going to and from work, I'm able to do so if no one's sitting behind me. Now, the price point of this is extremely steep, I think. Almost $66,000 for a naturally aspirated V6. Now, it is nice inside and out, but just compared to the competition, I feel like there are some other options that are similarly equipped, maybe even a bit cheaper, that have been refreshed once or twice since this came out. And again, this has not seen an actual refresh since it was released. But I still think it looks modern, and I think that's why these still sell so great. And they still feel like a 2024 model should feel in terms of the overall comfort, drivability. You do get quite a bit of upgraded features as opposed to when the 17 XT5 came out, having the wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility, having the lane keeping system standard, and then having adaptive cruise control here with this driver assist package. But again, for an XT5, I think my mom's, hers staggered for like under 40 grand, and hers was a base model. But for this one to be 25 grand more with the same powertrain, that just, I don't know. Now this, again, this has everything that my mom's didn't. So hers doesn't have a sunroof, doesn't have heated cooled seats, doesn't have the actual leather seating surfaces like this one does. But is that really worth another 50%, over 50% an increase? I wouldn't pay it, but I feel like I could get a similarly equipped XT6 for the same money. Maybe 5 grand more, but I'll have a third row. But if you want something that looks nice and feels nice, I should say fantastic, that's what you're really paying for with this, because I don't see a lot of sports out on the road. The front fascia of these, even though it hasn't seen an actual refresh, still looks aggressive yet sleek when you see it driving. And then also having those taillights, they look great. They really do. So, I mean, if somebody gave me one of these, I definitely would drive it, and I'd love it. Just for what this sticker's for, I don't know. I just don't see it. But if you do and you're a big XT5 fan, definitely make sure you check out this 2024 Cadillac XT5 all-wheel drive in the sport trim level.